New trucks are always about more power, as well as showcasing higher tow and haul ratings. Basically, they just show off the brute force of a pickup. But this 2019 Ram 1500 is about working smarter, not just harder. Seriously, it features a ton of innovations that make life easier in it for a pickup truck owner. And that's going to make it stand out in this segment. Where do I even begin with this new Ram? Why not bring up the oily bits under the hood? Now, this model features a 5.7-liter V8 engine that's essentially carried over from last year. It's paired to a new, fuel-efficient 8-speed automatic transmission and makes just under 400 horsepower and 410 pound-feet of torque. But everyone's pretty excited about the mild hybrid e-torque version of this truck. Enabled by a 48-volt battery pack, this will give the V6 models 90 more pound-feet of torque, and the V8 models 130 more pound-feet of torque. Sadly, today, all we have is the conventional powertrain. You'll learn about those other electric motors later on. Now, I know I said that this engine is a carryover, but that's not exactly true. It features cylinder deactivation that operates at a wider range of engine loads. That's because Ram has included active noise cancellation as well as engine vibration dampers, so that when the truck operates in that 4-cylinder mode, you won't notice it, and if you do, you won't complain as much. Another upgrade to this year's model is a real locking differential, and that's a pretty big deal because pickup trucks are supposed to dominate in off-road situations, and for it to not have that, that was a pretty big omission. Fortunately, it's been fixed now. But the big story to any pickup truck is the final drive ratio. There's 3 to choose from here. A 392, a 355, and a 321 ratio is all available. So whatever your needs are as a pickup truck driver, you'll be able to find something that suits you. In addition to that, this truck features 6 lug axles. Now that's really important for people who are really towing heavy stuff with this truck. And while we're talking about towing, this truck features a 12,750 pound tow rating. That's pretty impressive, but it's not class leading. In addition to that, there's a 2,300 pound haul rating. Again, nothing class leading. But this truck is not meant to be a class leader in terms of its capabilities. It is capable enough. What this truck is meant to do is be more refined. It's supposed to be smoother and easier to live with, and I think it really handles that. As I mentioned before, there are chassis dampening features that make this truck smoother on the road. But there's other things that really add up. For example, there's these new shocks. They're called frequency response shocks that help make this truck feel more responsive. And the Ram 1500 is still the only pickup truck in this class that offers 4-corner air suspension. And that can improve aerodynamics by lowering the truck and allowing it to be more fuel efficient. Now, if you don't have the air suspension, the truck actually features an air dam that pops down at certain levels to improve aerodynamics and fuel efficiency. All of those suspension bits are a huge asset on-road, but they also have their advantages off-road as well. Now, I'm not going to overstep my boundaries. If you want to learn more about how this truck handles off-road situations, go to AutoGuide.com and watch the review from my colleague Stephen Elmer. While we're talking about how this truck handles on-road situations, why don't we bring up the fact that it comes standard with low rolling resistance tires. This, combined with the lighter body and other improvements, including aerodynamics, mean that this truck will be far more fuel efficient than the outgoing model. Now, truck chatter is loaded to the brim with metal, and this truck features aluminum in some of its body parts, including the tailgate. But all of the really important things, like the bed, are made with high-strength steel. Now, one of the more interesting features about this truck is the frame, which is now splayed. It's kind of like a Y at the front end. Now, that's really important when it comes to front end accidents or collisions and the small overlap crash test. I always thought that trucks are supposed to be safe. I mean, they're the biggest thing on the road. Should I really be concerned about what will happen to me in an accident? Well, fortunately, Ram has thought about that, and this truck is safer than before. Now, there's other safety improvements in this vehicle as well. Things like forward collision warning, blind spot monitoring, lane keep assist, And there's also other driver aids like adaptive cruise control. Now that blind spot monitoring system even works with a trailer. So this thing is almost driving itself at times. And I wonder if truck buyers will really want that. True truck guys, they kind of want to show off how well they know their trucks. With all of these features, will they be able to do that? Well, as long as nobody knows, I guess they're showing off in one way or another. This truck is just easier to drive, and often while you're on the road, you'll forget that you're in command of something so big and heavy. Simply put, I love how smooth and refined this thing is. The interior is also really premium feeling as well. Almost every surface is covered with a soft touch material. And there's these massive touchscreens, up to 12 inches in some models, that make the truck feel high-tech and futuristic. And that's not something that most pickup trucks are known for. There are some other smart things in here too, like a warning for when your tailgate is down. Now that should have been in a truck from the get-go, but at least it's in it now. The truck is also extremely practical. I mean, of course it is. It's a pickup truck, right? But in the bed, there are these sweet Ram boxes, which have lights and plugs in them now. And inside the truck, there are these Ram bins, which also feature a ton of storage. This truck has almost double the storage as the outgoing model. I can go on at length about how much I love the interior of this truck. I mean, it's full of really smart additions like USB-C ports and Android Auto and Apple CarPlay support. There's also heated and vented seats, a heated steering wheel, and plugs galore. One of my favorite things about the Ram though is the exterior design. This is the true differentiating factor between this pickup and all of the other ones out there. It's a clean design, and the badging has been moved around and tweaked to keep it that way. Even the Ram logo has been updated for this model. This truck starts at around $32,000 for a quad cab rear-wheel drive version of the truck, and I don't think that cost undercuts any of the competitors. Will you really want to switch out of your F-150 or Silverado for the same amount of money? I'm not quite sure. And there's a lot to think about with this truck that hasn't been shared yet, like the fuel economy numbers, and whether or not those e-torque versions are any good at all. When you think about it, this Ram 1500 is essentially a luxury car hidden inside of a pickup truck. It's got advanced powertrains, fancy driver aids, and a gorgeous interior, and it's still as practical and capable as before. Still, I'm not sure that real truck guys are going to appreciate all of these coddling features. But you can't argue with just how livable and drivable this new Ram 1500 is.